This is the OTP. I'm Amie Wells, and we are joined by Titans Radio's very own Will Boling. Will, the Titans are getting ready to take on the Houston Texans here at Nissan Stadium. It's an AFC South rematch, of course, and it's part of our 3, 4, 5 week, depending on how you count it, stretch of being at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Really excited for this game, and there's so much to talk about, but I feel like the obligatory thing to do after the week after the bye week is ask somebody, how was your bye week? What did you do? It's like summer vacation. So how was your bye week? What did you do?
It was good, and I have a really boring answer for you because I watched NFL football with the sound on. It's pretty much the only difference for me of the bye week was sitting on a couch on Sunday, ordering food, cooking a little bit of food, and just watching NFL football. I mean, truly, I don't have any other more exciting answer for you other than that.
Did you watch games like in their entirety, or did you watch RedZone?
I am a RedZone person. I love RedZone as much as anyone that watches NFL football. I want to be Scott Hansen when I grow up, to be quite honest with you.
Yes.
And no, I am a big game I want to watch on a tablet / laptop / have RedZone on person. So we're multitasking in that way. Your bye week a lot more exciting and eventful than mine was.
Well, my bye week was fine. I went on a trip, and it was delightful. Shout out to the good people of Portland, Maine. You're very hospitable,
great place,
and accommodating. It was beautiful. Did watch a lot of football, though, and watched a lot of NFL football. And let me tell you, I enjoy RedZone as much as the next guy.
Okay.
And when I first was on maternity leave, the first time I was on maternity leave, I didn't know what to do with myself because NFL games were happening and I wasn't there, and it was a whole thing. And that was the first time that I had ever seen RedZone, really, because I've been working in the National Football League for my entire adult life. And I was amazed, and I sat on the couch for like 8 hours. I mean, I have this newborn, and I was like, well, can't deal with that. Got to watch RedZone. Like, it was very much like a big deal, and I was obsessed with it. Now that I'm familiar with it, and it's not as novel to me anymore, I miss the context of a football game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
fair.
I want to know, like, it feels like it pulls a little bit of the, like, romance of the game out because you're missing some of the context of, like, well, how did they get to this place? When it's just like big play after big play after big play, you never invest in anything, and I like the whole story.
That's why you've got to have a laptop where you can invest in one game that you care most about the context. And then RedZone, I mean, I think
like
I probably am flipping it. Like, I think probably most people have the one game they're investing in, and then they go RedZone on the side, on the tablet. Yeah. My brain's not normal. I've accepted this long time ago. Maybe it's just the fact that it's wired for, I've done play-by-play broadcasting for so many years that I'm, like, thinking of so many different things at once. And, like, on a Saturday for college football, I'm watching a game, I've got a laptop, I've got soccer on a tablet, and then I'm scrolling on TikTok on my phone. Like, it's just that in one screen for RedZone. So it works for me, but I also accept that I am weird. And that's okay.
Well, on Saturdays, and Saturdays are different because there's so many different, like, there's so many different conferences and so many different things that are going on.
Presentations are all different.
Yeah, yes. So we've got like the 4 screen that we watch, and we do that whole thing. So I understand that. And I will say, like, I just went on this big diatribe about how I care about, like, the romance and the poetry of a game and, like, the full thing. I have nothing for the third quarter of a football game, regardless of what type of football it is. High school, college, pro, I am sleeping through the third quarter if I have the ability to. I will go to sleep at halftime.
Wow, okay.
I would like to wake up at the start of the fourth quarter and see where we're at. The third quarter, I don't have anything for it. I don't know why I'm built this way. I don't know why. My brain is just like, they'll figure it out in the fourth. Like,
snack time.
I just don't care. Time. It's like we get through the first half and it's like, okay, this is where we are, and then it's either like they'll keep going and it'll be fine, or, well, we'll make it up at some point, probably in the fourth. Let's just skip ahead. For whatever reason, my brain wants to be sleeping during the third quarter of all games.
All right.
Whether I'm working them or not, it's if you see me during the third quarter of a Titans game, I might be dissociating. I'll check in with you in the fourth. I
Sounds
don't know.
Good
I don't know what to tell you guys. But this is also the bye week, regardless of us and our football consumption or taking breaks or whatever it is you did over the weekend. It's also really good for a football team. A football team that is kind of beat up, is dealing with some health issues, some injury issues at some key places. And also just a team that probably could use a little mental reset.
Sure.
How valuable do you think this is going to be coming off of a break, going into the second half of this season now?
Well, I think it's a valuable thing for this offense in particular. And you think about the changes now that Mike McCoy can put on this offense and help kind of envision for Cam Ward in this offense. I think for Cam, too, I don't know if that guy has left this facility since training camp started. I mean, truly.
He's always
I
here.
was having a conversation with somebody where I was relieved to see on his Instagram story there was a picture of like food or something that was not football. I was like, this is shocking to me that Cam is doing something that's not football. I think there's value in that. I think there's value in a reset. I think there's value in going back to the drawing board and seeing what is working that was a part of our original plan coming into the season. What is not working that was a part of our original plan? How do we change that plan to now fit what has or hasn't worked at this point? I think the Titans had a good season as well to have a mid-season bye week, with our international trip to London a few years back, very early. We've had very late bye weeks the past couple of seasons. I think right at the end of October, middle of October and November, all very logical points to kind of take a reset, take a beat. And for a young football team with so many rookies, physically that chance to kind of ration your energy to halfway. Now, how do we prevent from hitting the rookie wall, so to speak? And I think having a bye week well-positioned where the Titans had it certainly helps in that.
I think when you have a team with as much youth and as many rookies contributing in such predominant ways, managing that rookie wall is a thing that you really have to be aware of. And while I know we all say it with air quotes, it is a real thing because this is a lot more football than they're used to playing. And they didn't really get the break after the end of the 24 season because they were getting ready to become NFL players.
Right.
And that's very taxing on your body. So I think that while we all say it as kind of a, whatever, it is a real thing.
It definitely is. And I think that's where, the plan in the weight room, the plan in nutrition, the plan of everything you are doing in this building beyond just football matters for a young football team. I also think it's a positive thing that, aside from a couple of West Coast games that maybe to the fans in Nashville feel later and feel different, you have had the same routine on game day. You have had the same routine on weekends, getting to the plane at the same time, getting up at the same time, being at the stadium. And that matters for young football players. It matters for veteran ones, too. I stopped at saying old football players. I'm not calling anybody old.
Feel free to.
But I really do think that routine, there's value in that for this team. And, there's so much news still within this coaching staff, within Mike McCoy's influence, within, hey, how do we go to a whiteboard, erase it, and start from scratch a little bit? And they talked about that. The players did this week. Mike McCoy talked about it to the media when he opened up the week to say, hey, starts with third down for us. We want to be better on third down. That's our point of emphasis. Like, how do we really get specific? Like, let's master this one thing and focus on this one thing and see what other benefits can come from that. You're not feeling like you're pushing a boulder up a hill. You're feeling like one element, one key, one goal. If we can focus on that, you're kind of focusing your energy on that one thing. You don't feel like you are so overwhelmed with all of the professional football you have left to play.
So a quick kind of review to this point. I want to talk about people who have really exceeded expectations. And when you think about someone who's exceeded expectations, I think the list starts and almost stops with Chimere Dike.
Absolutely.
Tell me what has stood out to you specifically.
So much. On the field, his ability to make guys miss an open space is something you can either do or you can't do. And Coach Mack has said it since the season started, like, the guy's really fast. That's high-level analysis right there. But, like, he can run, and he is a premier athlete that fits professional football. It's not something that has expired for him as he's no longer playing against college football players. It's something that he's going to excel in and always be able to just make someone miss an open space. That's the simplicity of football. Can you beat the guy in front of you, whether you're a big guy or a skill guy, a littler guy? Statistically, with 1,514 all-purpose yards, he needs 186 all-purpose yards this week, which, considering the kickoff returns, the punt returns he's had within reach for him, to become the sixth player since the 1970 merger with 1,700 all-purpose yards in his team's first 10 games.
Wow.
That is remarkable.
Wow.
Remarkable what he has been able to do this season as a punt returner, as a kick returner, and as a wide receiver. I think the thing that really impresses me at this stage of the season now is, with the absence of Tyler Lockett and with some of the names and faces changing at the wide receiver position for this team, his ability to maybe be ahead of schedule as a wide receiver in this offense. I think we came into the season thinking it's Calvin, it's Tyler, it's maybe Van Jefferson, it's Elikai and Manor. Chimere Dike is going to earn the opportunity to play offense by excelling on special teams. Well, he's not only excelled on special teams, he's, as Taylor Zarzour says, been the most electric return man in football this year. So that's the way this has got to go for young players a lot of the times. You master special teams. All right, well, you're going to then earn the opportunity to play more on your side of the football. Sky's the limit for this guy. He is so much fun to watch, and just getting to spend time around him off the field, so impressive. I mean, Mike Bergonzi, Chad Brinker, this front office, they have a type, and he certainly fits the type. I was talking to Rhett Bryan about this the other day, actually. Like, there's so many team captains. There's so many guys that played at premier high school football programs, at premier college football programs that are, we talk about the rookie wall, used to playing impactful games in November. Mm-hmm. And it's harder to hit a rookie wall when you're a guy like Chimere Dike, who's played at two really big Power 4 programs, used to playing really important football in the month of November.
Hey, football fans, satisfy your halftime hunger with Snickers, and you could win sweet prizes this NFL season. Visit snickers.com/halftime to enter and view the official rules. Pick up Snickers at a Kroger near you. When you bring Hellman's Creamy Buffalo Chicken Dip to the watch party, you can cheer too loud, or block the TV, or be a couch coach, and no one will eject you from the game. That's a Hail Mayo. Hellman's, the official mayo of the Tennessee Titans. Hey Titans fans, with a Kroger Boost membership, you'll score big with double fuel points, free delivery, and lots more. Go to Kroger.com/boost for details. Kroger, the official grocer of the Tennessee Titans. Tighten up. Now back to the OTP. Who are you excited to watch maybe level up or play at a higher level in the second half of the season?
For me, it's T'Vondre Sweat. And thinking about Sweat and the 2 sacks already this season, that's already more than he had last season. The impact of him as a run stopper, as a pass rusher, to be able to play with a linebacker in Cedric Gray, who I would also put up there in the Chim DK category of really coming on strong this season.
Yep.
We're hopeful to get Jeffrey Simmons back soon. I know Jeff has taken to social media, and he's clearly antsy to be back out there, but we're still waiting on that. When he and Sweat can get on the field together, we're going to see, once they play their first quarter together, we're going to see the second quarter of them really being on the field together. It hasn't really happened for them this season. It's been really unlucky for this defense and for each of them that their injuries have kind of been one after the other. So I think T'Vondre Sweat's ability to take advantage of Jeffrey Simmons' dominance up front this season is a really big deal for him, and a really big opportunity for this defense to really feel like they can hang their hat on that front four and on that defensive line.
Cam Ward, obviously also a rookie, but in a incredibly prominent position, obviously. We saw his decision-making starting to improve a little bit, and just the way that he was growing through his progression, the way that he was making choices on the field kind of in the heat of the moment. Do you expect to see that continue? Or I guess we all hope to see that continue.
Sure.
Did it appear to you that he was on the right trajectory before the bye?
I think he definitely was, and I think it's understanding when to take chances and when to check it down. I think getting Tyjae Spears back helps, because Tyjae is a really easy guy to check it down to, because he can take a 5-yard flat route or a 5 or 6 yard angle route and turn it into an explosive play. It's when the live bullets are flying, seeing that work and saying, oh, okay, I can check this down. I can take my time here. Cam Ward talked this week to the media about not throwing off balance if he doesn't have to. He talked about just taking what is in front of him. And the only way to learn that is by playing professional football. Practice is one thing, but until you have the fear of getting hit, until an edge rusher is running at you full speed and not to just run around you and yell sack, but to actually hit you, it's different. So I certainly think he was on the right track. I certainly think that having Calvin Ridley nearing a return is a very big deal, because the last time we saw Calvin Ridley, he had 5 catches for 131 yards against the Arizona Cardinals. And the Titans won that football game because of Calvin Ridley's late game emergence really on that day. So Cam's decisiveness is really important. Whether it's, hey, I'm going to step up and run. Hey, I'm going to check this down to Chikakonkwo or Tajay Spears, or, hey, I'm going to take a shot because I see a window here. It's just making quicker decisions, even if that decision's different from play to play. It doesn't always have to be a check down. It's just got to happen a little bit faster, and that's just going to come with time.
Absolutely. The bye week, also a great time for people to get healthy. There are a couple names that we are hoping to see, if not this week, soon, but they seem to be on the right trajectory here. Calvin Ridley, he was limited on Wednesday. Seemed as though he was getting some more work on Thursday. Last played in week 6 against the Raiders, and he's had a hamstring thing. Will be great to get him back eventually. Arden Key, same thing. He's been battling a quadricep. It said on Wednesday after practice it felt good to get out on the field and out of the training room. So that's one that we're excited about. And Jeffrey Simmons is another one we are waiting to see. We're hoping it's soon. We want him out on the field. He wants him out on the field. But how good is it going to be to get some of these key players back on the field?
Well, it's great. And you're talking about key leaders. You're talking about guys that lead the team out of the locker room. I mean, that was one thing I noted on Titans Radio's broadcast in Indy was like, Cedric Gray, J.C. Latham, and Jim DK are leading the team out on the field. It's different to not see Jeffrey Simmons and Arden Key as loud and vocal as they always are.
Yeah.
Because I always hear that the team is taking the field before I see the team taking the field, because I hear those two guys. Obviously, the impact is more than just leading the team on the field, but I do think there's something to be said for having your leaders back, having your louder voices back. And, Calvin Ridley, I think, has still really been engaged with this offense and coaching guys on the sideline. I know you've seen that as well at the home games, of just talking with Chimere Dike, talking with Elikiah Manor, talking to Cam, because those two were joined at the hip all through training camp and through week 6 in Vegas when he unfortunately picked up that injury. Calvin Ridley really wants to be out there, and I think he gives such a sense of calmness to Cam Ward to say, if all else breaks down, I know Calvin Ridley can go make a play. Now, the beauty is that in Calvin's absence, other guys have started making plays for him too. And I think that's where DK has really stepped into a bigger role. And Gunnar Helm, I know Cam loves throwing to, and how could you not with as well as he catches the football. But yes, big deal to get guys back, especially with the trade of Draymond Jones, being able to slot Arden Key right back in there at that edge rusher position, where Jihad Ward has really picked up the slack, where Tavondre Sweat has created more one-on-one opportunities for those outside guys. This defense has, I think, done a really admirable job these past couple of weeks with a lot of changing faces and names, and it'll be great to get some veterans back in there.
Well, and to your point about leadership, it's one thing to be on the field acting as an extra set of eyes and an extra set of just vocal kind of presence, being there to help coach people through and all of that stuff. And that's great. But when the play on the field isn't there, it's like, yeah, okay, I got it.
Exactly.
It's another thing to have the guy who's out on the field with you, helping you out, and you're doing it together, and it feels like what you've been preparing for this whole season. So just having those leaders not only on the sideline, but also on the field in the mix is incredibly valuable, and hopefully we're going to get those soon. So we are going to pause here for a cookie break. From Christie Cookie. Christie Cookie can create custom holiday tins for any size business, and we all know that the holidays are right around the corner. Visit ChristieCookie.com and click on corporate gifts for more information. They can do all kinds of things. Personal gifts, corporate gifts, whatever you need. ChristieCookie.com is where you can get all of that. So check it out. And we love their delicious cookies. It is now time for the Little Caesars Real Deal matchup of the game with our very own Keith Bullock.
Here's the deal. The matchup I'm most looking forward to see this Sunday is the Titans offensive line versus Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter. These two defensive ends for the Texans have over 80 pass rushes, pressures, and over 20 quarterback sacks combined. The Titans offensive line has been a work in process, has been getting better each week. Let's see, coming off of a bye, if they can provide the protection Cam Ward needs to get the points the Titans need to win.
Titans fans, get 15% off of your Little Caesars order of $15 or more at participating stores using code Titans15 at checkout. That excludes taxes and other fees, of course. Pizza. All right, so we're talking Texans.
Yes.
I feel like Keith Bullock kicked us off really well here. The Texans are coming off of a 36-29 crazy town victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And some of the numbers that they put up were just goof troop.
Goof troop.
They are goof troop numbers. I mean, that was a crazy fourth quarter, which once again, did we even need the third quarter of that game? Probably not.
Could have been an email.
It could have been an email. It could have been a nap. Fourth quarter is where it's at, I'm telling you. But really, I mean, a lot of momentum for the Texans coming into this game. What are you looking for as they take on the Titans here in Nashville?
Well, I think the defense complements their offense very well in a couple of ways. You look statistically at what they do on defense. They're fourth against the pass. They're second against the run. Number one in scoring defense and total defense in yardage allowed. It's kind of amazing the Texans are under 500 because they lead the league in average margin of victory. They have 19.5 points per game in the games that they have won. And a blowout of the Baltimore Ravens without Lamar Jackson certainly contributed to that. But I think you look at this defense, and at all three levels, I can't find a weakness. They are totally nasty. They have two of the top players in terms of total pressures this season in Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson Jr., who is second, Danielle Hunter, who is eighth. All five of their losses are one-score losses this season, and the only reason they were really in the position to lose to Jacksonville is because they had two fumbles deep in their own territory early in that football game that Jacksonville, who's really good at creating turnovers, were able to capitalize on. But they are actually still +6 in turnover margin as well defensively. So they turn it over defensively, and then offensively, they hold the football. And that sounds like really like baseline, like, all right, like the goal's to score, not hold the football. But when your defense is that good, sometimes just giving them enough time to be at their best, it matters. And this offense is not explosive, doesn't really jump off the page, but they're third in time of possession. And that's the thing, is they're not setting up that defense with really short fields because they're not turning the ball over a ton. They're ending drives with a kick, whether that's a field goal from Amie Fairbairn, whether that's a punt, whether that is an extra point. That is meaningful for this defense. They outgained Jacksonville 412 to 213 in this game, and yet still trailed by 19 in the fourth quarter. Davis Mills is certainly a more than capable replacement for C.J. Stroud. We've seen him 6 times in his Houston Texans career. If he's the guy that ends up going, which looks like is going to be the case, and yeah, it's a good football team that has not had the ball bounce their way in some one-score games. That's made a pretty good team look like a below-average team, and I don't think this is a below-average football team.
Well, Nico Collins was a big part of Davis Mills' success and the numbers that he was putting up. Great to see him kind of getting back to what he was. I feel like we haven't talked about him in a while, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, remember?
So good. He is a stud. He is the Nico Collins is down there somewhere guy, where you can just run the he's down there somewhere play from time to time with him.
Just throw it.
Yes,
He'll find it.
Absolutely. He's awesome. He's a 1,000-yard receiver, well over 1,000-yard receiver, of course, last season. But there are 2 other guys as well that you've got to account for that I think have given Nico Collins more opportunities to kind of feast on defenses. And that's the former Iowa State Cyclone teammates in Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins, the 2nd and 3rd round picks of the Houston Texans this past year. And Jaden Higgins had a big touchdown catch in that comeback over the weekend. He's starting to emerge a little bit just as you start to take Nico Collins away, or try to, as most teams fail at that. that's when one of those other guys will break an explosive play. And Woody Marks as well, the running back, who had 119 yards of total offense against the Titans in the first meeting between these two teams on the ground and in the air. Absolutely, Nico Collins is the guy. It feels to me like there are more players that are younger that are now also starting to benefit from a healthy Nico Collins taking so much attention. On the other side, Nico Collins is benefiting from these guys as well. It is becoming a more dangerous offense.
So from September to November, what has changed about the Texans, and what do the Titans need to do to take advantage of that?
Well, from matchup 1 to 2, obviously the quarterback in the game, C.J. Stroud, has changed, and that is something that obviously impacts the game. I think the thing that's interesting about C.J. Stroud is he has one 300-yard game since week 11 of last year.
Whoa.
So they've been winning without this offense really doing it for them anyway. And Davis Mills, like we said, is serviceable. So obviously I think you start there. I think Woody Marks becoming more of a guy, more so than Nick Chubb, without some of the names that we've come to know in Dameon Pierce at running back and some of the other kind of household names in Houston. Woody Marks is a former wide receiver in college football, and later in his career moved to running back. He is certainly a very capable wide receiver. This offensive line hasn't, I think, been as bad as a lot of people expected it to be. Their second-round pick out of Minnesota, Ariante Ursery, filling in for the traded Laramie Tunsil in the offseason. Mm-hmm. He's looked better. I think he's looked more comfortable since the Titans saw him last. From the Titans' perspective, what's different from the last time we saw the Texans, J.C. Latham is back at right tackle. And talking to him this week, I got the chance to catch up with him in the locker room on Wednesday. He was excited, and he was certainly excited to look back at that film and say, Oli Udoh did a good job. I'm excited to have my own chance against these guys. And his former teammate, Will Anderson Jr. as well, on defense, who he said was not the smack talk kind of guy. They're not texting back and forth, but he's like, what? Looking forward to seeing him, and just moved on to the next question. But I think J.C. Latham getting healthier, though, is a big deal for this offensive line. And J.C. with a hip injury, coming back in terms of just something that's kind of a pain tolerance kind of injury. It's not going to get 1,000% better, as close as you can get to 100%, the better he's going to be, obviously. And he told me Wednesday, he said, I changed up my routine in the bye week a little bit. Mm-hmm. I changed up when I started to kind of get back out there and work out and what I was pushing myself to do. I feel better. And so I think if you're looking at what's different from then to now, that's certainly a place you got to start with the Titans as well.
Titans fans, SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of Tighten Up, and here to help you experience all the action this season. SeatGeek makes it easy to find the perfect seats to the perfect game, so you can be part of all the touchdown celebrations and momentum-shifting takeaways this season. Whether you're getting tickets to Titans games or to any live event in Nashville, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Tennessee Titans.
Home is at the forefront of all we do. It's why we're so committed to caring for the places and spaces in which we work and live. Ashley, the official furniture provider of the Tennessee Titans. Genesis is the first and only official jeweler of the Titans, having earned that title since 2006. Titans players, coaches, and fans trust Genesis for the absolute best in selection, quality, customer service, and of course, value. For diamonds, engagement rings, designer fashion jewelry, and the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in Tennessee, Genesis is the hands-down winner. Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills and Cool Springs, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans.
Now back to the OTP. I know you had the chance to talk to Kevin Winston Jr. for Titans Radio. Give us a little preview of what people are going to hear on Titans Countdown before the game.
Kevin Winston Jr. is awesome. I truly had so much fun catching up with him and talking with him before we turned on the microphone and in the interview. Again, like Jim Radike, this organization has a type, and it's team captains. It's guys from premier programs. I mean, Penn State, he's a guy that's played in really important games in December and in November. And so Kevin Winston Jr. got to learn a lot from a really good, experienced safety room. And now he feels ready to take what is in his head and do it on the football field. And I asked him about that, like how much different has this process been for you? How patient have you had to be coming off of an ACL injury your last year at Penn State? He said, like, man, I don't even know how I would have mastered all of this had I just gone out and done it. He said there's honestly kind of been a blessing to be able to sit back and watch how Quandre Diggs and Mike Brown and Amani Hooker and Xavier Woods, like how they have all done practice, like coming to work every day, watching film, like understanding what they're doing and taking those kind of mental reps. So he's ready. He's been chomping at the bit, and he is ready to make a big impact on this defense. He had one pressure against the Chargers that forced a missed throw on third down that helped the defense get off the field a couple of weeks ago. He's just a very, very smart football player. And when you pair a smart football player with a guy that's played at a premier high school in DeMatha Catholic to Penn State, which is a perennial playoff contender in his time there, to now a just athletic freak that's long, that's lanky, that's fast, and the mindset of it, I've got really, really high expectations for Kevin Winston Jr.
That's awesome. Well, be sure to check out that interview with Kevin Winston Jr. on Titans Countdown, which starts at 11 a.m. Central Time, an hour before kickoff. That game kicks off at noon, of course. Titans taking on the Houston Texans at Nissan Stadium this Sunday. We are so excited, and I think it's going to be decently nice. I think chilly-ish, but kind of windy.
Yeah, I think I saw last high 50s, low 60s, and sunny.
Okay. Sun is good.
We can work with that.
Yeah, we can work with that.
I also, I do feel bad, and I feel lucky at the same time. The last time I did sidelines for Titans Radio for a game outdoors was week 1 in Denver.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the next time you do sidelines for Titans Radio outside,
all the luck ends.
it will be in Cleveland in December.
I'm excited.
And it's going to be chilly.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
No,
you can do it.
I'm excited. Please remember that on October, it's not October, what am I saying?
November.
No, that's where my brain is. In November the 13th, I said I was excited. I need you to quote me on that.
Yeah,
when I'm,
I'll ask
like,
you immediately
with
following the game.
One finger texting you after the game,
Yeah.
like, what am I doing? No, it'll be. No, I think it'll be good this weekend. Though.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be okay. The thing that gets you is the wind, and I think there's going to be a little bit of wind. So, Titans fans, if you're coming out, wear a windbreaker, wear a jacket, maybe a nice hat to keep your head warm. You will be fine. It's going to be okay.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. Titans taking on the Texans this Sunday, Nissan Stadium. Kickoff again is at noon. For Will Boling, I'm Amie Wells, thanking you for listening to this edition of the OTP.